how's it going? Yeah, sorry I'm late. I didn't want to come, but I'm here now, so you're welcome. Now, is there alcohol? Because I don't think I can do this sober. So just let that sink in. Hi, my name's Kevin. It rhymes with Evan, and this is Trying to Be Social, the podcast. How's everybody doing today? I'm hoping good. See, I got inspiration from my lack thereof episodes on this podcast. I have a couple things going for me. One was I never found my alone time because everybody was around making noise. And then two, I think I let the inner saboteur in me derail my intentions. I would try to make two different episodes, and I thought to myself, this is never going to work out. People won't listen to it. I won't do a good job. So I need to learn how to cut that back to present something to you guys, I made a whole episode on faking it till you make it, and I didn't even do that for myself. So I'm going to work harder so that I can bring you guys something because you're worth it. And with that being said, I think that's the perfect segue into today's topic, being fashionably late. That's right, I'm going to go over what it is, when and when it is not okay to do, and the fine line between being actually fashionably late and just being straight up rude. Also, just as a PSA, this episode is based in a general social gathering. When it comes to the events that are still unfolding as this episode airs, you are encouraged to be vaccinated, appropriately distanced from one another, and wearing a mask when necessary. Please check your local CDC guidelines to learn more. So going into our first topic of discussion, it's what it is to be fashionably late. So I could just obviously say it's just arriving late to a party or social event, but I wanted to get more uniform with it. So I go to Urban Dictionary and pull up the first thing that I see. And this seems like the most appropriate response. And it was by a person named, I guess, Anna on October 8th, 2003. So a long time ago, but it was the first thing that popped up. And it's the refined art of being just late enough, in their opinion, 5 minutes or so, to give the impression that you are a busy, popular person that was held up with other business. If you're someone like me reading that, I say, oh, so this is a stuck-up person who thinks they're too good. But this is the art of being fashionably late, that you made time for the person of this social event. You could be other places, but you arrived. But it's almost like all's well that ends well, right? Well, I guess it depends on multiple factors. Going into the next topic of discussion. So there is the host, and then there are people who are arriving, and all can make and break the social experience. So the host can either be punctual, on time, or a little bit late, a little bit lazy, depends on who it is. This is why it's better to be fashionably late with friends than it is to be a more social with business coworkers, or what say you? So if it's more of a friends get together, you want to know the person who is hosting the event, okay? So they can be punctual, on time, and they'll hate it if you're too late to the event. It's more of a diss to them if you do that. And then for the people who are a little bit not good on their time management, it's okay, because it could be that they set it up, told everybody this is the time, but they're falling behind. So if you were to be late, then it would give a little bit of a leeway to the host, give them a little extra time to then be prepared for when they weren't going to be in the first place. So you're really doing them a solid. But it's a give and take, so it depends on your friend. You want to know your friend, and what is the most respectful thing to do to them is really what I'm getting at. And it's a whole nother story when it comes to the business setting. If you're having lunch with coworkers or your boss or the higher ups or what have you, it's very important to be on time, because this is about your job. You making money, you better arrive on time. I don't care who you think you are. You better arrive on time. I mean, I think that is goes without saying, but for some people, they literally think they are everything. And let me tell you, let me bring you down. You're not. This is you and your job. And punctuality shows what, my friends? Reliability. So, keep that in mind when going into these business settings. If you can't do it, maybe not show up then. But if you have to, be professional. Moving on. Is it or is it not okay to arrive late to a family gathering? And the answer is always yes. I mean, I've done it all the time. I mean, this is what this family does. And you can't blame us for it. You kind of love us. We're always late. Well, this family has like a bunch of people, so getting all together at the same time is a little bit difficult, matching the times. But if you have like a small little family, it's kind of more expected, I think, to arrive on time. So I guess it also depends. But I mean, it's family, so you love them, right? Just get over it. Also, what's the worst thing that could happen? Somebody's going to start like a fight? I mean, if everybody showed up on time and was having a good time, there's that one person in the family who loves the negative attention that'll pick a fight anyway. So in the family gatherings, who cares? You can be a little bit late. And so now that we've covered most of the groundwork, the last thing we need to go over is when it is considered fashionably late to arrive, and when you should just throw in the towel altogether on the said event. Now, I did some research online and asked various people close to me what would be seen as appropriate and inappropriate times to show up to a social gathering, and more specifically, what time frame would be fashionably late. And then I jotted down the average times. Coming around 15 minutes early is seen to be a little too forward and usually unwanted by the host. The only exception is if you're close enough and were asked to help to get things ready, or you offered and it was accepted. But about 10% of people would like to do this. And of course, next is coming in on time, which would be the considerate and right thing to do. It's only a more anxious time if you know that the host is the type of person that wouldn't be ready when it was agreed upon, as stated earlier. And about 60% of people prefer to arrive on time or 15 minutes after. So I'm very thankful that most people are on board to do the right thing. Then comes the fashionably late people, and the consensus is that you should arrive 20 to 30 minutes late to the function. And the idea behind this is that not only do you arrive in style, but the people who arrived on time has done the grunt work to liven up the party, so you don't have to have that pressure on you to get things going. The footwork has already been laid out, and 20% or 1 in 5 people will choose to arrive in this style. Finally, the least acceptable time to show up is 45 minutes to an hour late. Not only is this rude and comes off like you could barely be bothered to show up at all, why did you even show? Everyone else finished their hellos and catching up with one another, and no one wants to retell it or start the catch up again. Most people will have already moved on to the food, games, or other social topics. Even though this is a social faux pas, 10% see themselves doing this. Thankfully, that means most people prefer to arrive roughly on time. Some people want to make a fashionably late debut, and a few would like to be a little early or just too late. If it were me, though, you better not have the audacity to show up an hour after it was supposed to be. I will want to smack you for the egregious attitude that you have. Just telling my truth here. So, there you have it, everyone. You would think parties are all in good fun, but there is some deeper social thinking that goes into it as well. And I hope this episode was a little enlightening for you. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day, stay golden, and I'll talk to you again another time.